José Mourinho's Inter Milan achieved the unthinkable in the 2009-10 season, writing themselves into football history. With the Portuguese manager at the helm, the Nerazzurri combined grit, discipline, and brilliance to dominate Italy and conquer Europe, securing a legendary treble that no other Italian side had ever managed before. Mourinho deployed his Inter side in a variety of formations throughout the season, staying true to his pragmatic approach and adapting to the opposition and nullifying their threats. This often meant switching structures to suit the demands of each match. One of the key systems during this historic campaign was the 4-3-1-2, which he primarily used in Serie A to block off central lanes, as most Italian teams built their play through the middle of the pitch. In the setup, the fullbacks provided width down the flanks, while the central midfield four controlled the game by rotating possession, pressing effectively, and transitioning quickly through the thirds to spark counter-attacks. Up front, the strike partnership became the cutting edge to the team's attack, but just as importantly, they worked tirelessly without the ball, embodying the collective efforts Mourinho demanded. The balance of defensive resilience and attacking efficiency made Inter Milan the most formidable side in Europe that season. The tactics under Jose were built on a counter-attacking foundation, combined with a balanced defensive line. Inter were flexible in their approach, adapting to the opposition while still imposing their own strengths. At times they could control matches with possession-based football, building from the back, circulating the ball through the midfield, and applying sustained pressure. However, the defining feature of their style was the vertical transition play, with runners exploiting gaps and spaces to link attacks at speed. If opponents pressed high, Inter were equally comfortable bypassing them with longer passes, establishing an advanced attacking platform further up the pitch. The priority was always to move the ball forward quickly, often requiring 2 or 3 passes to reach the opposition's penalty area. This structure leaned heavily on central play, with the midfield combining to overload opponents in the middle of the pitch. As a result, the wide areas frequently opened up, allowing the fullbacks or even the strikers drifting wide to exploit the space and create further attacking threats. Defensively, Mourinho's Inter were organized into a disciplined block, reflecting the pragmatic approach of the Portuguese manager. The team could press high and close down opponents when the moment was right, often turning those efforts into ball recoveries and counters, but more frequently they settled into a compact mid-block that could drop deeper when required. The midfield was highly physical and combative, focused on stopping central progression and using defensive traps and triggers to regain possession before launching vertical passes forward. By closing off central lanes, the opponents were forced wide, where the fullbacks worked either to win the ball back or prevent dangerous crosses into the box. If the wide play did break through, the centre-back pairing stood as pillars of resilience, clearing their lines, disrupting attacks, and breaking the opponent's rhythm with their strength and determination. The defensive structure embodied Inter's grit and was key to grinding out results even against the strongest opposition. The goalkeeper Julio César played the role of a balanced sweeper keeper, never afraid to step off his line and intercept danger and quickly recycle possession. The Brazilian was comfortable at distributing short passes to build from the back or launching longer balls forward to bypass the pressure. Beyond his composure and possession, César was often called upon to make crucial saves, and throughout the 2009-10 season he repeatedly delivered in decisive moments, proving to be a vital last line of defense for Mourinho's treble-winning side. The backline consisted of Javier Zanetti, Walter Samuel, Lucimar Ferreira da Silva, and Maicon Douglas Cecinaldo. The two fullbacks had distinct roles within the system. On the left, Zanetti operated as a balanced fullback who could support attacking moves when needed, often pushing into crossing positions to supply chances into the box. However, his primary role was defensive, staying deep to cover long balls down his flank, shutting down opposition wingers, and providing stability. His positioning also made him an important outlet in the build-up phase, stretching the pitch wide and creating space for central players. On the right, Maicon was more attack-minded, functioning almost as a balanced wing-back. He frequently pushed higher up the pitch, either driving forward with the ball from deeper areas or releasing long passes into attacking runners to trigger transitions. In the final third, he constantly delivered dangerous crosses or cutbacks, adding another dimension to Inter's attack. The Brazilian was also expected to help track back diligently to help defend his side when required. At the heart of defense, Samuel and Lucio were deployed as traditional defensive centre-backs. Their task was to deny central penetration, intercept passes, win tackles, and dominate aerial duels. Mourinho relied on their physicality and discipline to maintain the team's defensive structure through the middle of the pitch. On the ball, they were not asked to be overly technical, but rather keep things simple, circulating short passes out from the back to help initiate play without compromising stability. The midfield four typically consisted of Esteban Cambiasso, Thiago Mata, Dejan Stankovic, and Wesley Schneider. At the base, Cambiasso operated as a defensive holding midfielder, sitting deeper to shield the back line while also dictating play with his excellent passing range. He could drop deep to collect the ball, move it through the thirds with pace and precision, and use his physicality and positioning to win back possession. His tactical intelligence, stamina, and consistency made him one of the most reliable players in Mourinho's system. Just ahead of him, Mata operated as a deep-lying playmaker. He often dropped deeper to support the build-up, helping Inter progress into the midfield with short combinations, but he was also capable of pushing higher to create overloads in the attacking third. His calm presence in possession allowed Inter to sustain pressure, especially as he helped circulate the ball around the box and connect play through central channels or out wide. Mata was also a direct goal threat, especially when arriving late into attacking positions. Stankovic brought more aggression and dynamism, playing the role of the box-to-box midfielder. He tirelessly covered ground, breaking up opposition transitions with tackles and clogging central lanes to help block central progression. On offense, he frequently pushed into advanced positions, offering more attacking edge than his midfield partners by arriving in and around the box as a shooting threat threat or drifting into wide positions to support crossing opportunities. His energy and assertiveness gave Inter balance in both directions. At the tip of the diamond sat Schneider, the creative hub of Mourinho's midfield. Given the freedom as a roaming playmaker, the Dutch number 10 drifted into the half spaces or stayed central to link midfield to attack. He crucially launched transitions, threading precise through balls into the forwards or dropping deeper where needed to help outnumber the opposition midfield. His vision and passing ability frequently unlocked defenses, while his long-range shooting gave Inter another dangerous outlet whenever space opened up. Leading the line in Mourinho's legendary side was Samuel Eto'o and Diego Milito, a strike partnership that perfectly balanced intelligence, work rate, and clinical finishing. Eto'o, deployed on the left, operated as a complete advanced forward. He often drifted into the wide channel, stretching defenses and creating space for teammates to exploit, with angled runs through the middle. In transitions, he often pulled out wide to open up central corridors, while in settled play he linked up effectively with midfielders, holding up possession and combining with Milito. Eto'o was both a goal scorer and creator, capable of finishing chances or setting them up. Alongside him, Milito took on the role of an attack advanced forward, helping to spearhead the team's offense. The Argentine thrived on piercing defenses with well-timed runs in behind, while also dropping into link play and spread passes into wide areas for overlapping runners. In the box, he was ruthless, combining technical precision with composure to finish from close range or distance. Together, the pair were lethal in and around the penalty area. They could combine with quick passing sequences, threaten with headers, or simply dismantle defenses on the break with their pace, movement, and skill. The dual threat made Inter's attack unpredictable and devastating throughout the course of the season. And there we go, people. That is how you can go ahead and replicate José Mourinho's Inter Milan 4-3-1-2 tactics for FC25, the legendary tactics from the 2009-10 season. I do hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you don't mind smashing that like button down below, whilst also subscribing to the channel if you are new and you like the content on it. We are trying to hit 30k by the end of this year, and we're really close to 21k as things stand, so if you're not subscribed, please do consider it. And for anybody looking for any extra content, I also have a Patreon where I will be releasing the José Mourinho 4-2-3-1 tactics from that legendary Inter Milan side on there, so if you are interested, the link for that will be down below in the description, right next to the link for the Discord, where I also discuss everything IRL football as well as FC and all that cool stuff that comes with it. So be sure to check out those two other platforms that I'm also on, and I do hope you guys have a smashing goddamn day. Anyways, I'm out of here. Peace.